Hi folks, thanks for joining us as we celebrate our last 2 years of the Christian Raphael Prize for Young Folkies. Got a great lineup for you today with Mishra, absolutely amazing, Bella Collins, absolutely fantastic, and Catherine Priddy, truly amazing, and a few songs from me as the token oldie, the kind of standard grey-haired guitar playing old gent that you find in folk clubs all over the world. But I wasn't always old, believe it or not. Remember when I was 16, three-string guitars, all I could afford at the time, falling into the folk world and finding it kind of welcome me. And that idea of folk music as being rooted, as having a sense of being rooted in something was very important for me, particularly growing up in a new town where finding your roots was, troublesome, I have to say, really, amongst all that concrete. So, first song is called Newtown Boy. Goes like this. Nice chorus, join in. Well, in 56 we moved away from the East End streets where the children played. Sunday trips to me granddad's grave to the town where I was born. Oh, we were part of the chosen few with an upstairs bar and an inside loo. Oh, there's so much more for the kids to do in a town where I was born. Oh, Newtown boy, growing up among the concrete blocks. Newtown boy, you won't find your roots in a window box. You won't find your roots. You'll find your roots. Well, my daddy taught me wrong from right, showed me how you can win a fight. It was handy on the streets at night in the town where I was born. But he couldn't tell me what to feel when my mom left home. Said that she'll promise to keep a part of the deal in the town where I was born. Oh, you're a Newtown boy, growing up among the concrete blocks. Newtown boy, you won't find your roots in a window box. You won't find your roots. Oh, find your roots. Well, I grew up in a TV dream with a Z-Cars tune and a Crossroads theme. Or a police like Dixon of Doug Green in the town where I was born. But the colours came in black and white, and the heroes always made things right. They just kept their feelings out of sight in the town where I was born. Oh, you're a Newtown boy, growing up among the concrete blocks. Newtown boy, you won't find your roots in a window box. You won't find your roots. You'll find your roots. Now I'm stumbling through the teenage years with the sleepless nights and the endless beers. Anything to try and drown the fears in the town where I was born. But the thing that scares us most of all is not the writing on the wall. Well, it's wondering if it's there at all in the town where I was born. Oh, yeah, Newtown boy, growing up among the concrete blocks. Newtown boy, you won't find your roots in a window box. You won't find your roots. You'll find your roots. Whew, getting too old for this, definitely. So, folk music, all about roots, all about continuity, but most of all about having a great time. And when it comes to having a great time, I have to mention Mr. Christian Raphael. Now, I've known Christian for quite a few years. He used to come down to the pub where we run the session at the Plough and Fleece. He was an early investor. He also seemed to like my loud, raucous mandolin playing, hence picture. He's a guy who kind of really knows how to have a good time and how to help everybody around him to have a good time. So the idea for setting up the prize came as no great surprise, really, did it? You know, that he loves to be around people, loves to be around live music. So does his family. So do all the people that work with him. So there's the tradition really going back to the sessions and sing-arounds in pubs. It led us down at the Plough and Fleece every Thursday to write a song about doing that. And that song won a prize, which was really nice. And it's turned into a touring project looking at what's happening in sessions and sing-arounds all over the country. So we've got 86 places we've visited so far. And if you want to know more about that, there's a website, www.rollingon.org. I'd love to get your stories about what you think about singing in pubs. So, on to that, the song Rolling On. Nice chorus, slightly ripped off from other folk songs, but then that's the tradition. Nothing wrong with that, bit of plagiarism, called creativity. So whether it's true or not that people have been singing in our little pub since 1760 when it was built, it's true enough, isn't it? I mean, people have sat around telling stories, telling jokes, singing songs since before the French Revolution, and will continue long into the future when this lockdown nonsense has started. So, rolling on. Well, it's 8 o'clock on a cold winter's evening. The old stove is on and the candles are light, and a pint of the usual lies ready and waiting. Now ain't that a wonderful sight? Yes, it is. Oh, we've sung in this pub since the 1700s are close. They have changed, but we sing the same songs, loving and leaving, laughing and grieving. The music keeps rolling on. All together now. So rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. Oh, the music keeps rolling on. So the tables are full, and is all the old regular stories and players and singers of songs, and it's a heady old mix of the sacred and secular. Our music keeps rolling on. So we sang for old Boney when he met his Waterloo. We sang for the transports to Botany Bay, and we sang for all the brave boys at Sebastopol. Music keeps rolling on. So rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. Oh, the music keeps rolling on. Whether it's wartime or time of the harvest, in good times and hard times we sing the same songs, and the years they roll onwards, but so do our melodies. Our music keeps rolling on. Shall we sing for the soldier boys away down in Africa, for old Tommy Atkins? It's over and gone. And we sang for the war that was meant to end all wars. Our music keeps rolling on. So rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. Oh, the music keeps rolling on. Grow on the cradle the rights of the rainbow, for peace in the paddies and tumble downhill, and for the protest at Orgrave, Hyde Park and Greenham. Our music keeps rolling on. So we sang for the marchers from Jarrow to London. We sang for the Londoners rained on by fire. Yeah, we sang for the East End, for Portsmouth, for Coventry. Music keeps rolling on. So rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. The music keeps rolling on. Working folk, we all need our heroes who take from the rich and who give to the poor. Robin or Turpin, so on P or Snowden. Our music keeps rolling on. Last time, so rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. Oh, the music keeps rolling on. So, the biggest pub crawl in history, 86 venues and more to go when the lockdown stops. In the meantime, I guess like a lot of us, we've been doing sessions online using Zoom and Jitsi and Jam Kazam and other wonderful bits of technology. And, you know, it's been kind of great fun, but it's not quite the same, is it, as that sort of live interactive feel. I mean, here I am staring at a piece of plastic on my computer, and I'm kind of not getting back that usual mixture of beer bottles and whistles and occasional applause. But hey, you know, it still works, doesn't it? One of the things really about lockdown that's the saddest thing for me is not really being able to see my family, which is, you know, it's kind of really tough, isn't it? But I have to say that singing covers a lot of stuff, doesn't it? You know, allows us to lift ourselves above the kind of gloom. And whether it's singing online or listening to my old dad singing or listening to my sons singing, always works well. So here's a little piece that celebrates my little family and the role of singing in bringing us all together. This might work for you if you have or think you may have a slightly dysfunctional family. No need to write in, you know who I'm talking about. And this one goes like this. Now my little family, we're off to the seaside. Tracy and Paul, my dad and me, and the old modest Oxford, oh, it's going on nicely. And it's taking us down to the sea. Now my dad is singing his heart out as usual. Our Jolson classics and Yippee-Yay-Yay, and there's songs of the 30s, the 40s and 50s, and there's ghost riders in the sky. Also my little family is no picture postcard, no cardboard cutout, no show on TV. But when my old dad sings, the hope that it brings, how it's more than enough for me. Chorus. And someday we will be singing, we will be singing too. Someday we will be singing, we will be singing to you. So my little family, we're off to the prison. Katie and George, Brenda and me, and Tom, he can't wait to cuddle his new son. And it won't be long till he's free. Oh, my little family is no picture postcard, no cardboard cutout, no show on TV. But when I hear Tom sing, the pride that it brings, how it's more than enough for me. One someday we will be singing, we will be singing too. Someday we will be singing, we will be singing too. So my little family, we're staying at home now. Nico the cat, Brenda and me, and we're closing the curtains and we're dimming the lights, and we're sharing a nice cup of tea. Oh, my little family is no picture postcard, no cardboard cutout, no show on TV. But when that kettle sings, the love that it brings, how it's more than enough for me. And someday we will be singing, we will be singing too. Someday we will be singing, we will be singing to you. My little family. Ah, yeah. And it's a thing, isn't it, really, as you get older and first of all you become a dad. You know, if that's what happens to you and you realise you're totally inept, totally badly equipped, but managed to get through it somehow. I've got 3 great big grown-up sons. They're all wonderful and lovely people. And of course, as I think about this concert today with Mishra and Bella Collins and Catherine Priddy, all young enough to be my kids. But hey, we're still part of a living tradition, aren't we? And the point is, as you look backwards, sometimes you feel you've learned something, and other times you don't. So we move on to grandchildren, the next big step on the primrose path. And when little Georgie arrived, little Scrap was 5 weeks early. Oh, Tom was indisposed. Kate had to stay in the hospital. So what I did, instead of moping around, I did what songwriters always do in times of happiness and crisis. I wrote a silly little song and made a silly little animation, for which there's no excuse, but I thought you might like to see it. So this one's called Home Sweet Home, welcoming Georgie into the world. Pull down the screen.
He can't come out to play, he won't be coming home today. Doctor says he's very small and doesn't weigh that much at all. Now he's eating like a pig and he's getting very big, so Georgie boy will be home soon. Then we can be together and we'll be together forever and forever in our home sweet home. Together and we'll be together forever and forever in our home sweet home. Mummy says she can't come home and we can't use the telephone. Meow. So we are yowling at the moon and hoping that she'll be home soon. Meow. Then together and we'll be together forever and forever in our home sweet home. We'll be together and we'll be together forever and forever in our home sweet home. Now Daddy can't come home for tea, it won't be long till he's free, and where he is not too far. Get there in the car, then we can be together and we'll be together forever and forever in our home sweet home. Be together and we'll be together forever and forever in our home sweet home.
Yeah, well, as I said, there's no excuse for that, was there really? But a whole lot of fun. And that's the whole point about music, isn't it? That you can write dire and dreadful murder melodies and you can write happy, clappy songs. Most people in the folk world tend to veer towards the solemn, but it's not compulsory. So, grandchildren, and realising that you really don't know that much about life, and you particularly don't know about nursery rhymes. Now, obviously one of the great traditions in folk music is that people stand up on a stage and they tell you chapter and verse about where a song's come from, and there are learned people who write reams about nursery rhymes, but for me, still pretty clueless. So here's a little song called 2 + 2, inspired by my grandson George. Oh, Jack and Jill went up the hill. For all I know, they're up there still. How so? I just don't know. And Humpty's heading for a fall. But why was he up there at all? How so? I just don't know. Yeah, but now I know that 2 and 2 are 4. I can't make it anymore or less. No matter how I've tried to, I still don't know how many beams make 5. But as long as I'm alive, well, I will try and find you. Oh, diddle, diddle, cat and fiddle, who's that standing in the middle row? I just don't know. Un frère Jacques est sur le pont, fly Ryanair to d'Avignon, how so? I just don't know. Yeah, but now I know the 2 and 2 are 4, but I can't make it anymore or less. No matter how I've tried to, I still don't know how many beans make 5, but as long as I'm alive, well, I will try and find you. Grand old Duke, he marched his men, but none of them came home again. How so? I just don't know. And ring of roses all fall down the latest high to hit the townhouse. So I just don't know. Yeah, now I know the 2 and 2 are 4, but I can't make it anymore or less. No matter how I've tried to, I still don't know how many beans make 5, but as long as I'm alive, well, I will try and find you. Oh, Wincy, Wincy, Spider-Man does everything a spider can. How so? I just don't know. So Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick. What is it with that candlestick? How so? I just don't know. Yeah, but now I know the 2 and 2 are 4, but I can't make it anymore or less. No matter how I've tried to, I still don't know how many beans make 5, but as long as I'm alive, well, I will try and find you. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder when you are. It's hard for me to really care. Now I know that you're not there, but now I know the 2 and 2 are 4. I can't make it anymore or less. No matter how I've tried to, I still don't know how many beans make 5, but as long as I'm alive, well, I will try and find you. 2 plus 2. God bless you, George. Big cuddle up coming soon. Lovely. So we're almost at the end, and just a reminder that what you're listening to is Future Folk, brought to you by Greg Carter's Riff Raff Promotions, and it's got all the finalists from the last 2 years of the Christian Raphael Prize for Young Folkies. So you'll be hearing from Mishra, finally, Bella Collins, and next up, Catherine Priddy. All absolutely fabulous and great examples of why young folk artists should be supported. I mean, the music has got me to this point in life full of happiness, bobbins and bounds, but the one thing it never got me was much money. So look, here's your chance. Support the prize, do what you can to put money in the coffers, and if you haven't got any money, then turn up in droves to listen to these wonderful people, hear their online stuff, which is absolutely amazing. Thank God for the internet. We're going to leave you then, before we tune into Catherine Priddy, with a hopeful song where it's kind of like a folk singer's cheat. So if you're trying to teach people a chorus, the real trick is to have a one-word chorus. And this is a kind of all-purpose protest song with the chorus being no. So you think you can handle that? Sure you can. It's called Ice Age. So is this how it winds up, with a frozen mind and frozen heart? Is it too late to say we're sorry? Has it gone too far to make a start? I've been, and everything I am, and everything I will be. Sure bit says no, says no, says no. Says no. Frosty little fingers and icy down my spine. Is it true that there's no hope left, but it's gone too far, we're out of time? Everything I've been, and everything I am, and everything I will be. Here you go. Says no, says no, says no, says no. Oh, the wind chill of indifference. Oh, it's cold enough to take your breath away. And they say that you can't stop progress, and there's no point stranded in the way. But everything I've been, and everything I am, and everything I will be, says no, says no, says no, says no. So there you are. That finishes up my little set. Big thank yous to Christian, Vicky, Greg and all the folks that put this together and all the people who thought about the brilliant idea of setting up the Christian Raphael Prize. Going to hand you back to Mr. Greg Carter in the studio, and let's give a big warm welcome to Catherine Priddy when she comes on. I can now go and have a rest. God bless.